Okay, so I was getting ready to call it a day. I've already done my video blog. I've edited it. As a matter of fact, it's uploading right now to Facebook. Um, took up the makeup, ready to just snuggle in bed and just kind of be done with it. And I talked to my mom on the phone, who was telling me about something that she had saw on TV earlier today, where these ladies were discussing this woman who posted a picture of herself on Instagram breastfeeding her child on the toilet. That's the picture that you just saw. Her name is Elisa Wilson Beach, and she posted it on Instagram, and she said, "This is motherhood, and it ain't always pretty. What's your hashtag mom truth?" And I know I'm Johnny come lately. This is something that she actually posted back in April of last year, but it was just now brought to my attention. And of course, I had to say something about this because I'm a mom. I've had three kids. All of them are teenagers now. I know what it feels like to go through that whole phase when your children are younger where you really can't go to the restroom because they're banging on the door, or you'll be sitting on the toilet and you'll see the little fingers coming from under the door, or even worse, them just coming in the bathroom on you. I understand that all privacy tends to go away when you become a mama. I understand that. I understand that it is very difficult to keep your house clean all the time. There's always going to be toys. There's going to be food particles everywhere. There are going to be fingerprints everywhere. There are going to be so many things going on in your house. And it's a daily struggle to keep everything in line. When my children were younger, my focus was basically just to make sure that my house stayed tidy and germ free. If I could keep food from being all over the couch and sticky things from being all over the floor, I was just happy. But I see this, and I went online and I did some research. And while there were a lot of people that were, making comments on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, saying that this was totally disgusting, there were a lot of people that came to her defense and said this is actually real life. And this is where I have to make a plea to you young mamas. Y'all, I've been there. I've been there. I understand. I have a friend that thinks that I am a total complete germaphobe because I really do take pride in keeping my house clean. And I understand that when you have young children, it is difficult to do that. But there is a difference from between your house and the way you raise your children, as far as being untidy to just straight up unsanitary. Because even though they're young children, they're still taking in what we allow to go on in our household. And that's just straight up nasty. I mean, you're on the toilet, and you've got tampons, you've got all this other stuff that's showing. That is nasty. That is nasty. That is nasty. I mean, I breastfed my kids. So, I mean, I know that there are ways that you can get around having to breastfeed your child while you are on the toilet. That child sees that. And in their psyche, they're going to think that that's okay to feed or consume food while you're on the toilet. That's unsanitary. And when I look at the mindset of today's generation when it comes to teaching our children, to teaching their children, I look at my own kids and I'm like, who in the world are y'all going to marry? Because people kind of have a lax attitude when it comes to parenting, and you can't have it. It's up to us to teach our children how to care themselves, how to take care of what it is that they have, their homes, of their hygiene. It's up to us. And as moms, how we present ourselves, we're going to be the primary example. Don't you pay attention to your kids and when they've got their little baby dolls and they're walking around on the phone and on their pretend phones and chattering away, or when they're pretend cooking, or when they want to play dress up, when the little boys want to pretend like they're race car driving, or they want to play football, or they want to wear their dad's tie. They mimic what they see at that young age, and that is the young age that you start teaching your children when it's okay and when it's not okay. If your child is starving and you're on the toilet, you need to hurry up and finish your business so that you can go feed that baby. Or better yet, if dad is home or if someone is there, have them pass them a bottle, some juice or something until you can get up off that toilet. At some point, we have to stop making excuses for being lazy. And while I understand that it is difficult to stay on target with keeping everything organized because children don't have a schedule, they don't go by our our time clocks. They go about their own time clocks. There are certain standards and principles that it is up to you to establish in that household. They're going to cry, they're going to whine, they're going to want to pitch a fit, but when it comes to certain things, it is up to you as the parent to establish that standard and say, you know what, no, our mommy will get to you when she's finished, so that the child will learn and understand that. Having to stop and pull your breast out while you're on the toilet is telling that child, I can get anything I want anytime I want. At some point, you have to say, no, not until mommy's finished, or have someone else to come in and help you. That's not it says, what's your mom truth? That's not a mom truth. That's lazy. That's being irresponsible, and that's setting a bad example for what motherhood is all about. Because while it is a challenge at times, it does not mean that we have to breastfeed on the toilet with tampons and everything everywhere. Don't do that. That's just straight up nasty. This has been First Lady B, BMAC Speaks, BMAC Writes. I hope some of y'all will take heed to this. If not, well, whatever.